Personal identity is a new topic for us. Let's just try and get a handle on the question that we'll be pursuing. The broad idea is, look, what's necessary for your personal survival? Now you might say something like I would say, chocolate, right? But of course we're really thinking in a course called Mind and Reality about metaphysics. What's metaphysically necessary for your survival? And although I have a pretty serious chocolate addiction, it's certainly not something that's metaphysically necessary for my survival. Now, the other thing we want to be careful about is that people sometimes talk in a loose way about persons. I might say to you after undergoing some experience, I am a different person now. You might say, Steve, let's go and do that thing again that we did before. And I'm saying, no, I won't do it. And you'll say, Steve, look, you did it before. I'm saying, no, I won't do it. I'm a different person now. Now, a perfectly good way of talking, no harm in it, but it's not what we're talking about when we're talking about personal identity. I take it that what you're saying is strictly speaking false in order to try to express something true. If you say, I am a different person now, right? You're stressing that it's you that's a different person now. So you're sort of getting into some kind of tangle there. We don't want to go there. We don't want to go there. Right? So here's a way of formulating the question that we're interested in, trying to get at the idea of what's metaphysically necessary for survival. This is due to David Olson, who you'll be reading some work by. Olson says, here's the question. If a person exists at one time and something exists at another time, under what possible circumstances is it the case that the person is the thing? If a person exists at one time and something exists at another time, under what possible circumstances is it the case that the person is the thing? So here's Olson's formulation of a question about personal identity. I think I want to focus very carefully on this formulation because it's difficult to get a good handle on the question. Now let's start with some illustrations. The first thing to note here is that identifying a person is often something that's very easy. You and I are looking back at some beautiful holiday photos and you might say, looking at the photo, that's me, right? That's me. No problem at all identifying people. If, for example, yourself, right? You're a person, I'm a person. Very good. But there are cases in which identifying people is very difficult. I want to give you two of them and I want you to have a bit of a think about these cases. And ideally, I want you to think about them with another person that you are sharing this lecture watching with. You'll also notice that after the lecture, there are some questions to do with these two cases. So I'm going to give you the case, and then you've got 90 seconds to have a think about the answer. Here's the first one. Omar suffers from a rare brain-destroying disease. His sister Betty offers to donate her left brain hemisphere. She's got two hemispheres, right? She only needs one, I suppose. Omar's brain is removed and Betty's hemisphere is implanted in his skull. The question is, does Omar continue to exist? 90 seconds, go. Great. Now this is the thing I really miss most about the live lectures. These 90 seconds and then a bit of discussion, I get to find out what you're thinking. I'm going to have to read what you write later. Just give me like a sentence, 2 sentences, because I really need that connection. Anyway, that was the first case. I'm really curious what you thought. Here's the second case. It's kind of like the first, but different. It's Omar again. He suffers from a rare... I can't say that today, can I? Omar suffers from a rare brain-destroying disease. His sister Betty offers to have her brain wiped and reprogrammed with Omar's memories. Sure enough, Betty's brain is wiped and reprogrammed. Shortly after that, Omar's brain gives out altogether. They did it just in time. Now, does Omar continue to exist in this scenario? Once again, I want you to take 90 seconds, have a think, ideally have a chat with a friend. What do you think, yes or no? So if you've been following along, you've now given us answers to 2 questions, perhaps based on discussion with a friend who, if you're lucky, might have some different views about what the matter is. So what have we done? You know that our topic for personal identity is about what's metaphysically necessary for your survival as a person. You also know that Olson provides us with a good way of formulating the questions. I think that if there is a question here that we can address, it's Olson's question. If a person exists at a time and something exists at another time, under what possible circumstances is it the case that the person is the thing? There's the question about personal identity. We've also seen that there are going to be some edge cases where even establishing whether the thing is the person or not could be quite challenging. So it looks on the face of it as if there's room for us as philosophers to do some work here.